Welcome to Ceph News at 10. I'm John Schubeck, and this video is all about the Ceph Dashboard live demo. Let's get going. For our demonstration today, we will be using the property pages as they appear in IBM Storage Ceph. IBM Storage Ceph is a downstream distribution of Community Ceph. The cosmetics in the IBM Storage Ceph dashboard are overwhelmingly the same as in upstream Ceph, and any minor difference is insignificant if it's noticed at all. I am often asked, what are the differences between upstream and downstream? My answer is there is a big difference in how you get support. Other than that, my live sessions freely swing between the two without concern about a small difference here and there. Let's get right to it now. The purpose of the Ceph dashboard in the first place is to simplify day-to-day management tasks. That usually means a browser experience, and we'll do that now. Point your browser to typically the bootstrap node of the Ceph cluster, TCP port 8443, logging in with an admin and a password. And here we see our dashboard experience with 3 panels or zones, a menu panel across the top, a navigation pane down the left, and a viewing and editing pane in the body of our browser window. At a glance, we can look at our cluster utilization and capacity, the health of the cluster, any alerts that are presenting themselves, and the Ceph version that we are running, in this case IBM Storage Ceph 9.0. From a pull down of the menu bar, we can see our documentation link, an API link, and a view into the upstream community release that is the parent, if you will, of our downstream release for IBM Storage Ceph. Back to our dashboard homepage now, we can scroll down a little bit and take a look at the inventory of our cluster. We see that our cluster consists of 4 hosts. There are 3 Ceph monitor daemons that are running. We always have an odd number there for a voting quorum, 2 managers, and 16 OSDs. OSD being object storage daemon, usually corresponds to storage devices in our cluster. If I look at 16 there and 4 hosts, I'm figuring 4 disks per host, 16 OSDs in all. Let's now explore the inventory of our Ceph cluster more in depth. For that, we'll move on over to the navigation pane. We see a handful of groups there. For this, we will expand the cluster group. First item on the cluster group is Ceph pools, and we see our first pool called .mgr. This is a built-in pool that's automatically created at bootstrap time. Moving over to the hosts, we see our host or Ceph nodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we want to see more detail, we can expand any one of those selected nodes, see which daemons are running on that node. Here are the OSDs, object storage daemon. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see each OSD corresponding to each physical storage device on its own row. And if we want to see the physical storage disks themselves, we can do that as well. These columns, by the way, are all clickable so that you can change the sorting order by way of device status, device class, device type, which host it is owned by, etc. For example, let's sort by device type, and at a glance we can see at the top or the bottom where the HDDs and the SSDs are. Moving along to the Ceph monitor daemons, we see we have 3 monitors running. This is our voting quorum and which nodes they are running on. And let's navigate back to our home page in the Ceph dashboard. This would be a good time to explore the other configuration groups within the Ceph navigation pane. Starting with block, we have images mirroring an NVMe over fabrics, NVMe over TCP. And what I like is, even though block storage is not yet configured, we are invited to explore a wizard end-to-end configuration to simplify Ceph RBD block storage. Down in the object group, we can see at a glance where our object Rados gateways are running. What about our users? What about our buckets, multi-site, storage class, etc.? And in file systems NFS and SMB, CephFS file system, of course, and again, a configuration wizard to simplify CephFS file system creation. Finally, down in the administrative group, we can see all of our services that are running, that is the Ceph daemons. And finally, down in the configuration group, there are over 2,000 optimization and configuration parameters within Ceph, but we can see at a glance which ones have been modified. Very helpful at a time like that. Back to the dashboard homepage. What about performance monitoring? Let's go there now. It just so happens that we also have access to a standalone dashboard. Just point the browser to the Ceph Bootstrap node, but TCP port 3000, and we see a global view of our performance metrics, looking at a variety of different points of control, like at the host layer, at the pool, at the OSD, the Rados gateway, block storage through RBD, etc. Each of these items show the metrics for a specific Ceph resource at a global level. However, that's not the only way to do it, and perhaps more conveniently, we can look at context-sensitive performance metrics. For example, navigating to the hosts management group, OSDs. If there is a context-sensitive performance monitor for that item, you will see a performance tab in the property page. Let's do a little role play now. I mentioned earlier about the configuration wizard for Ceph RBD, block storage services. It automatically creates a pool on our behalf, but I want to create a pool manually. I'll navigate to the cluster group, to pools, create a pool. My pool name will be RBD pool. The data protection rule will be replica times 3, mapping to the RBD access pattern. And looking at a wealth of configuration and optimization parameters that I will accept defaults for now, click Create Pool, and my RBD pool at replica 3 data protection will be created. We will use this later in our next video. And with that, we close the door on today's session of Ceph News at 10. This is John Schubeck posing the question, do you know where your data is? Take care.